guys were so fun to watch. Such a beautiful attitude and outlook. And I'm so bummed that you're out already, but I'd love to go back if we can, because I mean, it sounds like you guys met, got married, went on Amazing Race.
That's exactly what happened.
How
That's exactly what happened.
Tell me, how did this opportunity come up? Did you apply? Give me this story.
We did apply, you know, and it was Lumumba's dream. I had not been a lifelong fan of The Amazing Race. Lumumba has been a fan for 20 years and he wanted to go on The Amazing Race. I turned him down twice. I told him, go with your brother, go with your cousin. I don't want to go. And, you know, I ended up, you know, being a supportive wife, ended up applying, and they loved our tall, short dynamic, clearly. Yeah. And the fact that we're 40-plus-year-old newlyweds, and we got accepted to go on and chosen to go on the season 34.
And it all happened extremely quickly.
Yeah.
We got married in May
of 2021.
Okay,
last year.
I'll let you do the dates because we 3 months later, we got on social media.
Yeah.
I discovered that, you know, Amazing Race was doing casting. We had communication, and then, you know, right after that, we started getting calls about being on the show, and we were both planning on having a child, you know, having boom boom, right? So we're like, okay, listen, if we're gonna do this, it's now or never, right? Yeah. We're gonna have to. We're either gonna commit to this show and then boom boom, or we got boom boom and it's the show. And my wife was like, you know what? Let's put pause on that, and then after we have our first year, you know, we can start working on boom boom. So
yeah.
So you get the news you're going on the race. Then what's the preparation?
Oh my goodness! So we do a lot of physical, and mental prep. We're swimming and we're doing, you know, rock climbing and kayaking and running and working out, doing puzzles. Stick shift driving. We took formal stick shift driving lessons, like everything, and we binge watched old seasons of The Amazing Race. So everything you can think of to try to prepare.
These first two legs, you guys started out so strong. You had second place finishes, both of them. How did that feel? Tell me about these first two legs.
Well, first of all, there was so much anxiety the first leg. That we had no idea how we were going to do. And we knew that there were other teams that were just as anxious and really gunning for us or gunning for everybody, because nobody wanted to be last. Yeah. You kept hearing that. We don't want to be last. We don't want to be last. So we went all out, and it was a huge confidence boost when we got to the end and we realized, wait a minute, you know, we're not only are we not last, but we're doing okay. Yeah. We're pretty good. And then, you know, to carry that into the next leg, the second leg, you know, it was the Glenda Roberts show then, because that's when we did the yodeling. And after that, I just let my wife take over after that. But that first leg, it was like a pressure released when we came in so high.
Yeah.
So, okay, energy changes a little bit with this mega leg. I mean, this seemed hard on most teams. At the very, you know, start though, in Italy, we see you guys on foot navigating when you needed to be driving.
You had to go there.
Did this kind of change the energy? Did this change the vibe for you?
Yeah, because, you know, okay, the biggest, no in The Amazing Race is you have to read the clue. So if you don't read the clue, that's no, right? So of course we do the very thing that you're not supposed to do is we don't read the clue.
Well, let's tell the truth though. Let's tell the truth. Lumumba had the clue in his hand. I read the clue once over. I was like, babe, we're going this way, and that's where we're going. And my wife is like, okay, all right, let's go off on foot. 30 minutes later, Lumumba, my wife is like, where are we going? Where are we going? I'm like, I don't know. And I read the clue again. And it says on driving while driving. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to slow down and you know, I need to do better communicating with my wife and allowing both of our strengths shine, because I just screwed up.
Yeah. And I think the mega leg was everything that could go wrong, Sarah, went wrong. Don't read the clue. We got lost trying to get to the first detour. We don't do well on the head of the class detour with the anatomy. So it was like everything that could go wrong went wrong. And it was definitely like stressful because we knew we were in the first group, we were at the top. We knew that people saw that we were a strong team, and then to be at the bottom was really difficult. So we spent the next legs
trying to catch up,
you know? So it was hard.
Another tough one to watch was this flirt dance in Amman.
I know.
I mean, personally, that judge, she was too demanding. This was too hard.
Yeah, you're on the right track because really any type of like challenge where there's a judge involved, like literally the teams are at the mercy of the teacher, right? So we had an instructor that kept telling us we were doing the right things. We don't know. We're literally relying on the instructor. And so the judge doesn't tell us that it's the hopping until like 6 times in.
Yeah.
And the band takes a break, 15-minute break as well. Like, it was like, oh my God, this was not, we should have just did the Arabic
the memorization
alphabet.
challenge. However, the only reason why we didn't do the memorization challenge was because we were scarred by head of the class, the anatomy lesson. I was like, I'm not taking any more classes. I don't care what we have to do. And we did well at the previous dance when we were in Austria. So we were like, okay, this will be good. That dance was much more difficult than what even looked like on television. It looked pretty tough on TV. So
okay, now we're in France, and Glenda, we've backed a vehicle into a ditch. I mean, this is kind of hilarious. We don't see this often.
No.
You're rescued by a French angel on a tractor. I mean, it's an insane story, but you were so polite. You're apologizing to this crew that we don't even see. You have a car full of people.
Yeah.
Usually we got a glimpse of it here. Can you tell me this experience?
Okay, so there again, I led us down the road that we weren't supposed to be on. And I say, Glenda, we're going the wrong way. You're going to have to turn around. It was too narrow to turn around. We didn't know that beyond the brush was a drop off. Right. All we could see was this high brush to the left side. And so she, commenced to backing up. And next thing you know, we're head over heels,
We're just so happy that no one got hurt. We didn't damage the car. Thank you, Grandma, who was the angel with the tractor that came and rescued us quickly. Thank you. And we were back at it, but we weren't sure we were going to continue to race. We thought it was going to take hours, and we were already behind. So just the fact that we could get back on the road and race and finish was huge for us.
Yeah.
Yes, it was really an incredible thing to watch. I can't imagine being in it. Now, the rest of this leg, it looks to us like you don't ever see another team.
Yeah.
Is that correct? And how does that affect you?
Well, we didn't see another team, but to be honest, from the very beginning of, the amazing race until the point that we left, our plan was always fight for first and stay focused on our own game. So it really didn't matter much what was going on around us. We always stayed focused. We always, worked on ourselves, our dynamic, so that we could be, the best racers we could be. So, if there was something going on over here, we didn't know, over there, we didn't know. All we knew is that as long as we stayed focused, that we would give ourselves the best chance to win. So there wasn't much of a like a negative or anxious feeling about it. We really were racing, believing that we would catch up with somebody eventually.
Yeah, because anyone who watches the Amazing Race, you just never know. People like get lost, they get into arguments, they lose their passports, they lose the clue. Like you just never know. And so you're fighting, and your head should be in the game until Phil says you have to go. So that's what our mindset was. We didn't know if someone was in another country, because that's happened before in this season, right? Like you just never know. So we're like, hey, let's fight until the end, because who knows? So we're glad that we did. We stayed in it to the end.
Yeah. And then you guys were just so lovely on the mat, talking about being more in love. Tell me about what was it like to race this together?
Oh my goodness. This is a dream come true. I'm with my soulmate. I'm traveling to all over the world. Thank you, CBS. I'm learning who my spouse is because we've only known each other like 2.5 years. Of the 2.5 years, one of the years is in marriage. So I think we learn more about each other, how to trust each other. And like, again, this was like the start of our life race, not the end. So I think like, I was so proud when we got to the pit stop. I was so grateful and so proud to have had the experience to share with the world our love and chronicle, you know, like this aspect of our life before we start our family.
Well, speaking of, we heard about Boom Boom. Now you have the pressure of the entire fandom. But when are we going to meet Boom Boom? Are we still on track? What's happening?
We're working on Boom Boom. As a matter of fact, we are sharing our baby journey on our website, robertsfamily365.com, and on YouTube, you know, in our podcasts and things like that. So we want people to not only just be encouraged about, you know, finding true love or their soulmates, because we believe in that. I was divorced before. I did not believe in soulmates. When I met Glenda, I learned that they were real. And, you know, and ever since I've been trying to let people know the person that you choose is so important, you know, and so we just decided to create a platform where we can share, you know, our journey of finding a soulmate, our journey of trying to, or not trying, we're going to have our child Boom Boom in our 40s, you know, because that's another, you know, even more amazing race, you know, right there. So,
and we want to encourage anyone who's having a fertility like issue or challenge, hopefully sharing our story and being transparent will encourage them. So that's why, you know, we're chronicling the journey on our website, robertsfamily365.com, and our YouTube.
After the amazing race.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. It was so wonderful to watch you guys. Really loved your energy and your optimism and your love for each other. It was really fun to watch. I wish you all the best for everything in the future.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for having us on your show.